Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Window Shopping. Today we are returning to an old favorite, shein.com forward slash. Oh my god, what? What? Life is a journey, not the destination, but the scenery along the should be and the mood at. Is this shirt displaying the same way for you guys, or do I need to call a doctor? Them oodat. No, that can't be it. And the mood at. And the moo dat. And the mood at. Girl, God. It's been 1 minute. There's like a docu-series on television about Shein now. I get ads for it on Hulu when I'm watching Fargo. As a plus-size woman with some actual style, I'm never not gonna take offense to articles of clothing like this. What do you mean plus leopard print drop shoulder drawstring hoodie? Don't give me the SKU. I don't need to know any more about this item other than what I'm seeing right now. What I'm seeing right now looks like a bag of clothes that somebody set aside to donate to Savers, gained Iron Giant powers. You know how in the end of Iron Giant he gets blown up and then all the pieces like find each other back together? Sorry if you haven't seen the Iron Giant, but it's been out for like 50 years, so it's not that long. When did it come out? 1999. 50 years, yeah. And then once the articles of clothing were spread across the store, they found each other again because of the aforementioned Iron Giant powers. And then they combined each other together like some sort of stretched jersey Frankenstein, and here we are. The buttons, like the half button, is probably the most offensive part of this. Like, oh no, please. Please. It's not enough that it's split down the middle and there's a pocket on one side in the inverse print. No, no. There's not enough quirkifying this article of clothing. The quirkification process is not yet at 100%. We need a half button. Do you need help? Do you need me to call somebody? I think I do. I'm not waiting for an answer, sis. I'm on my way. Computer, where is this? What street is this in the world? I'll be there tomorrow. Don't make her stand in all these poses. There's absolutely no way you can stand that's going to make this shirt look good. Unless the way you're standing is with this shirt in one of your hands over a trash can that is on fire. God bless. I just. Wow. Cool. I was kind of hoping those pictures weren't going to load. So, okay. Couple things to address here. This is a t-shirt that says thick thighs matter. Like how Black Lives do. Is that the association I'm supposed to make here? Girl, don't sell this to people. Don't even make. That is just awful. Oh, Lord in heaven. I don't even dislike paisley. This is irresponsible usage of paisley, if I've ever seen it. These paisleys, am I using that term correctly? For one of these little teardrops, is this one paisley, one unit of paisley? These paisleys are too big. They look like kitschy sperm. Like, this is what the sperm that eventually merged with an egg and became Martha Stewart looked like. You know, in the vast deference, right? In the balls. in oh god, what are all the parts? Hold on. Is there sperm in it? Just give me the skinny, please. It transports sperm. Okay, so there's sperm in it sometimes. Wow. Off to a great start. This big you ribbon, come on now. I don't hate ribbons and I don't hate bows, but having a ribbon around my waist tied like this is always going to make me feel like a little girl. I like flouncy dresses. I like hyper femininity, but Jesus Christ. Let's If we're gonna paze out like this, if we're gonna be this pazed, maybe let's leave the bow for another outfit. Or at least pays up the bow so it blends in a little bit. This dress seems like it is on the verge of asking me to join its MLM. It is in my inbox. It is asking me if I've ever thought of being my own boss. It is in my inbox telling me that the only thing standing between me and the life that I've always dreamed of and the nest egg that I want to build for my children is one sequence of $5,000 purchases. One sequence of $5,000 purchases for materials and merchandise for me to sell on Facebook Live. MLMs are so scary. And when I say all that, I don't mean a woman wearing this dress is likely to ask me to join her in selling Monat or doTERRA or, I don't know, girl, Tupperware. I'm saying the dress is doing it. The dress sentiently is using its paisley powers to manipulate me into selling LuLaRoe. Also, I'm sure that there's some variance in the fabric, but I don't like how there's two identical sets of paisleys right here. Feels lazy. It's also kind of a bit of an optical illusion. Makes it look like the chest is collapsing in on itself like a dying star. I don't think that's how stars die. And to top it all off, it's too long. I don't think that a long sleeve dress like this needs to be this long. But I'm, you know... I'm a little harlot and I like wearing short skirts that show off my gams. Anyway, thank you, Paisley. God bless. God bless us all, everyone, in this holiday season. What is more clothes for fat women than a sweatshirt with a little, like, shabby chic, messily drawn heart that's leopard print for some reason? Heart print, leopard print, fat women love dressing like big cats. I've always said that. This is so fat girl clothing. Like, you could totally see a chubby extra on a Disney Channel show wearing this in a background shot. Because they'd only let her in a background shot. Like, let's be realistic here. Like, I would have worn something. I did wear something like this when I was in 5th grade and I was a little chubby, adorable meatball of a kid that I must have told this story before. I remember back when I was like 11 years old, walking home from summer school one day, and I looked down at my chest as I was walking, and I had a thought like, oh, geez, I'm gonna have to start wearing bras soon. I was like, I'm gonna have to start worrying about that. I'm gonna have to buy a training bra. Oh, hell yeah. Come on now. With the millennial classic. Yup. Don't even play with me. This long line, like, labia cardigan in this brown color with the chevron print. Girl, you know I had something that looked exactly like this when I was a teenage millennial in 2011. Yeah! I can feel this on my skin. I can feel these flaps gently swaying as I hurry from Algebra 1 to gym class. For $17, you too can look exactly how I looked when the most significant relationship of my life was with my Tumblr blog. This is a graphic t-shirt that says, even my anxiety has anxiety. Girl, grow up. They make drugs for that. Please. Why would you wear a shirt like this? This is corny. And I can say all that because I have anxiety too. Because I'm a YouTuber and every YouTuber has anxiety and depression. Every single one of us. Being a YouTuber and making a video about how you have anxiety and depression is like, you know, your grandparent dying. It's like, yeah, I kind of expected that. Thank God. This is such a beautiful mustard yellow. This pose is hysterical. The way she's presenting herself to the audience. Your husband comes home from work. He sees you on the floor in your mustard yellow velvet pajama set. All the blood is going to rush out of his brain immediately. He's not even going to remember your name. I love this pajama set because for years, every holiday season, I've lamented to everyone who would listen, guys, I wish I had a velvet pajama set that was the color of the skin that forms on top of vanilla pudding if you leave it out for too long in the open air. And shein heard my cries and said, "Hey, we made that pajama set for you. Do you mind if we steal your credit card information when you try to buy it from us?" Does shein steal your credit card information, or is that just Temu and TikTok Shop? I might be spreading misinformation. And as a YouTuber, that's my God-given right. Thank you very much. I hope YouTube doesn't get mad at me for showing this picture. I just think that this is like a kind of hysterically airbrushed photo. Barring usage of extreme amounts of double-sided tape, the only way that she would ever be able to photograph a pair of panties like this is by airbrushing it extensively. Because panties like this, if you're built a certain way, those are vanishing betwixt your cheeks immediately when you put, like, there's no point. There's no point in putting this pretty little scalloped pattern on the edge right here. It's going to be gone. No one is going to see it except the inside of your cheeks. I'm sorry. Is that cross on fire? Are those flames? Christmas begins with Christ. It really looks like this cross is on fire. I'm sorry. Thank God, finally. Pants that light your pussy on fire. No more pesky matches, ladies. No more fussing around with lighter fluid. From the people who brought you pants that light your pussy on fire, we now offer you shirts that light your nipples on fire. Do you have nipples? Are you tired of that? Then try our new Shein Loon plus size solid color fleece lined t-shirt with new patent pending nipple flaming technology. Within 20 minutes of putting on this shirt, you might start to feel a burning sensation located in the center of your breast. Guess what? That's your nipple. Or rather, it was your nipple, because it's on fire now. Girl, what? That is crazy. If you're hosting a holiday party and you want to wear this dress, you better put on the invitations that nobody can show up to your place having done any sort of hallucinogenic or maybe even an edible. Because if they see you in this dress, they're going to start hallucinating that reality is breaking apart. And like the rainbow fractal tesseract outside of the matrix that like actually is what reality is starting to break through. Like they're going to think that you're a portal to life outside of this dimension. For sure. And I don't know what they would do in response to that notion. They might try to attack you. They might just start crying. They might just start complaining that they have dry mouth. Either way, it's going to ruin the vibe of your party. So you might as well pick something else to wear. Am I bugging or is this cute? Am I completely delusional or is this cute? I like this. It reminds me of the nanny. I would wear this. Shein Bizwear. This gown is from the same label as that one we just saw that you can't wear around people who are tripping because they're going to think that reality is shattering. This, objectively, is it a little gaudy? Sure, but it's a gown, so it's not like casual wear. But you would have to be going to someplace extremely formal to pull this dress off. This is cuckoo bananas. I love it. First of all, the useless illusion netting that doesn't fit at all and looks terrible. Fantastic. This beading, mama. This waistband that's here unnecessarily. Oh my God. What is this even trying to be? If you wear this anywhere, you know what you're gonna look like? What's that one picture of the little girl from Modern Family? She's like on a red carpet with everybody else on the show and she's wearing like this fancy little mini dress and everyone else has regular hold on. Why am I the only one serving? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Anyway, yeah. There's no way anyone else is gonna be on the same level as you in this gown, wherever you're going. Girl, where are you about to go in this dress with this quirky little design on the bottom? Are you about to go to a Frutiger Metro themed funeral? If you were a teenager in 2009, this is what the inside of your head looked like. Somebody accidentally told me my voice was emasculating. And I don't even know what they were trying to say, I forget. But I made a joke in response degrading the audience. And I know how my voice sounds. I know how I come across. I know I made that "Don't You Feel Stupid" audio on TikTok. I know. And like a couple years ago, I like freaked out when people started calling me mommy, and I started blocking people for it, and I started announcing that I was doing it. I completely Streisand affected myself, and I knew I was doing it when I was doing it, but I don't know, I wanted to do something. Um but you know, every so often I like to dip my toes back into it because I think it's funny how horny it makes people when I'm like, you're so bad. Girl, just watch Sex in the City. Just watch a supercut of scenes from Samantha from Sex in the City and get it out of your system. It's like, stop harassing women with deeper voices on the internet about being your mommy. Like, call your actual mom and square that away, okay? But anyway, so I made a video being like, oh, like, you don't make as much money as me, da da da. And somebody responded, like, can you make another video being mean? You know, so they could jerk it to it, presumably. so, so they could touch themselves ostensibly. I don't think I've ever used the word ostensibly correctly in my life, girl. But I made a video in response being like, why don't you go to my YouTube channel, watch an episode of Window Shopping, and pretend that you are the clothes I'm making fun of. Which I think is, if you want me to degrade you sexually, I won't. But you could do exactly that. Imagine that you are, let's see. Imagine that you are this shein, oh la la, shein privé, large size snowman print t-shirt. Imagine that this is you. You're this shirt. You're not the woman wearing it. You're not her thousands of bracelets. You are the shirt itself. You're ugly. You're ugly. You look like a reject Christmas card from 2003 that nobody bought at CVS because you're kind of depressing looking. You're worth $8 to the world. You're not even worth the $11.59 that Shein is claiming you initially cost. No one wants you. You're ugly. And you're probably made of really uncomfortable fabric. See? Just do that. If you need it that bad, you must mentally inhabit the space of an ugly hoodie or dress and get comfortable with being degraded in the third person. That's all I can offer you. I'm so sorry. Because I don't know you. I don't know all of your flaws. I can't degrade a person that I don't know. You could be terrible in ways that I have no way of even knowing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Girl, forget what I said about the hoodie with the leopard print heart. This is the final boss of fat girl clothing. And the piece de resistance is that this plus-size leopard heart and letter print round neck t-shirt isn't even on a plus-size model, because this model in question was never even wearing this shirt, because the shirt was photoshopped onto her. This shirt might not even exist. Okay, this is an epic moment in fashion. This is a black t-shirt that has a little stick figure holding out a brain, and it says, please use it, but it's PLZ, please. Girl, what in the I can has cheeseburger is this? What in the I baked you a cookie but I eated it is this? What in the rar means I love you and dinosaur is going on in here on this day? I used to has cheeseburger. Dems were the days. What was going on in our brains to make this so funny? It's just, we could. It became easy and casual for us to make little image macros like this. And I don't know, this is just what we thought of. I don't know. Get to class and see Durbette sitting by herself. Sit close by and glance at her periodically. Close enough. What is this? These are like, it was like cave paintings. Rage comics and I can has cheeseburger cat memes were like cave paintings, but we weren't in caves anymore. We were on the internet. The internet was the cave. Oh my God. Oh my God. I took the advice of the shirt too far. I used my brain too hard. I can has existential understanding. I made you a Hegelian dialectic, but I eated it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Hegelian dialectic means. I don't know what a Hegelian dialectic is, girl. I don't know what that means, mama. I heard that in the H-Bomber guy James Somerton video, and I was like, damn, I'm stupid. I have no idea what that video was. So cuckoo crazy. I've seen it 3 times. I have watched all 150 hours of that video 3 times. It has captivated my attention. I've told people who don't give a shit about YouTube about that video. I love it. This outfit is probably the most misguided use of the word sexy I've ever seen. This looks like a mean, kind of racist high school math teacher's Windows desktop background. Not this model. Nothing against her. We're just talking about the garment here. Like, I can imagine sitting in a geometry class and being insulted by a middle-aged woman who knows more about math than I will never know about anything for not understanding, like, the transitive property or whatever. And then as I'm trying to hold back tears, I'm looking past her and I see her laptop open on her desk and her desktop background is this image. I can picture that happening crystal clear in my brain. This is so ugly. Mama, just give me a full sunflower. Are the butterflies that are a distractingly different shade of yellow than the petals of this flower doing anything for anybody? No. Just give me a whole flower. If you have to put a butterfly on it, put the butterfly somewhere else. What are we doing here? I can't even get a full flower in the year of our Lord 2023. Is there any hope for women? What is this? This isn't a dress. This is just fabric. Sometimes dresses are just fabric. This is one of those times. What does this even say? Sweetie, energetic, was in a good mood, not just a dream, or something. What possible venue are you wearing this to? Was this designed or was this just spawned? I think there's a difference. Next. Oh, God. This looks like a trifle made out of unethical business practices, zero market research, and leopards. This is not the worst thing that we've seen. It's not. It does, however, especially by virtue of the fact that this tassel design doesn't continue onto the back of the dress, it does kind of give me the essence that you were wearing a normal sweater dress. Like, you walked into the function and your dress looked like this all around. And then you started slow dancing with a giant sentient cheese grater. And when you pulled away from him when the dance was done and you guys like bowed to each other and he went back to his friends, this is what the front of your dress looked like. Which, you know, it's kind of romantic. Now you have an excuse to see him again because he has to buy you dinner to make up for the fact that he ruined your dress because he's a giant cheese grater. And then you guys have dinner, and there's a little bit of awkwardness when the waiter comes over and asks if he wants any fresh grated Parmesan. He sort of bristles at that, and like, you get it. That's got to be kind of weird for him, you know? And you ask him, hey, Chris, his name's Chris, why are you a giant sentient cheese grater? And he seems kind of hurt that you'd ask. And you can tell in that moment that he's had to explain this to so many people. And he thought maybe you were different. And maybe you didn't see the fact that he was a cheese grater and you saw through that. But he decides to be open and honest with you. And he tells you that he was once a regular guy. In fact, he was a waiter in a restaurant, not this exact restaurant, but a restaurant very similar to it. And one day he was serving a woman who had a big plate of spaghetti and meatballs in front of her. And he asked her if she wanted any freshly grated Parmesan for her spaghetti and meatballs. And she said, yes, I would. He does the voice, which you think is kind of interesting. Like, why is that relevant? But he continues. And he goes, tell me when. And he starts grating the Parmesan. And she looks at him. She doesn't say when. He continues grating. The spaghetti is now completely covered in Parmesan cheese. She is not saying when, but she is staring directly at him. Finally, he has grated the entire wedge of Parmesan cheese on her spaghetti and meatballs, which is now just a giant pile of grated cheese. And he says, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm out of cheese. And she goes, that's not good enough. I'm a witch, and I'm going to make sure you never make a mistake like this again. And she turned me into a giant sentient cheese grater. And you say, that doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't it have made more sense to turn you into cheese? And he goes, what? And you go, if the whole issue is that you ran out of cheese, how does you being a cheese grater mean anything to that. It would have made more sense to turn you into a giant block of cheese. That way you'd never run out of yourself. And he goes, well, yeah, but then I would have to kill myself a little bit anytime I wanted to give someone cheese. That'd be horrible. And I'm like, yeah, it's a witch's curse. It's not supposed to be fun. And he's like, sorry, do you think I'm having fun being a giant sentient cheese grater? And I'm like, no, I'm just saying that story doesn't make any sense because by all accounts, you should have come away from that story being cheese, not a cheese grater. And he's like, you know what, Elizabeth? I was actually having a nice time before we started talking about this. And you go, God, I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. You know, my ex used to tell me that I had a nagging problem. And he goes, that must have been very difficult to hear. And he reaches out and touches your hand. And you go, ow, because he's a cheese grater and it's sharp. Hey guys, I just came back down to earth after that. I don't know what happened there. I don't know how long I was saying that. I'm gonna keep all that in. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you'd like to interact with me on other websites, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at NisiPisa, or on Tumblr at PickleFan2002. Usually I make that little joke about don't forget to use code NisiPisa for 10% off at checkout at your local whatever store. But like, I feel like having just done a Shein window shopping, I've already accosted my eyes to so much consumerism that I'm just going to tell you, hey, go outside, look at a cloud, and whisper my username to it. And the cloud will hear you, and it will know. Anyway, bye.